going to take your souls. We have the power. We control what's hot. We control what your kids listen to, what they dance to. We control what's in video games. We control everything.
When Sean Diddy looked dead in the camera's eyes and told the world he owns their children, it awakened a beast inside this country singer.
You own my sons? You own the souls of my sons? Really? I don't think so.
And if you're a parent, I think you'll agree why. Subscribe to Elites Exposed for more, and tell me if you think John Rich is pointing to a much deeper evil here.
About a year ago, I saw a clip of Sean Combs, and he was standing on a stage at an award
That'd be
show.
Puff Daddy?
Yeah, that's right. I won't call him that, but whatever, that guy. And Sean Combs standing up there, and he's looking into the cameras, and he says, I own your kids. I own their souls. I determine what they wear. I determine what they listen to. He's looking right in the camera saying this, meaning he's looking at me. And I'm thinking, oh, is that right, Sean Combs? You own my sons? You own the souls of my sons? Really? And I thought, this guy has no fear whatsoever of a mom or a dad and what they would do to him if he came and tried to take one of their kids. No understanding whatsoever. And basically what you're seeing there is a demon-possessed man. And don't forget this, Tucker, the devil and his minions are the most arrogant creatures in the universe. They are so arrogant.
I've noticed.
With their wickedness. They don't care what you think about it. Blah. I mean, they're just gonna say it, right to your face. And so I saw him say that and I went, this guy, music for Sean Combs is like a weapon. He uses his music to indoctrinate, we talked about music earlier, how it can go in between all the defenses you have. It can get through your soul and your spirit and all the way down into you and get stuck in your head for the rest of your life. And he knows that too. He uses it for wicked purposes. So it's a weapon for him.
And when John Rich says that, you better take him seriously. Because his latest music video called The Righteous Hunter is a punch to the face of the likes of Sean Diddy, telling him exactly what parents will do to protect their kids in a language he understands. But think about this for a second. When someone has the gall to stare right into the camera to tell millions of people that he owns their souls, that has to be a demon talking through him. And it's a demon whose arrogance and pride came before his fall.
I'm going to take your souls. We have the power. We decide what's hot. If we don't go, nobody goes. If we don't support, nobody supports. We control what's cool. We control what's hot. We control what your kids listen to, what they dance to. We control what's in video games. We control how they wear their pants, sag their pants. We control everything.
Because if the devil wanted to tell you how he gets access to young, impressionable minds, that's what he would say. As John Rich very rightly says, music is a weapon for Sean Diddy, and it's a weapon that goes past any rational or physical defense you try to put in front of your children. It's how the most sinister ideas get their foot in the door to the next generation's minds. And it works by taking lust, greed, and degeneracy and turning it into fashion. That's why I've always said, if you're a parent and your kid consumes these perverted pop culture heroes every day, then are you really the one raising your child? Maybe you're feeding and clothing them, but their mind is being shaped by someone else right under your nose. And you know what? Perhaps it's deeper than that, because this is a pattern I've seen all across history. Forces of evil have always underestimated the power and protective instinct of a parent. They knew a father's protection was impenetrable, so they decided to sneak beside it. All empires and industries believed they could control the population by controlling the culture, until they crossed the line to children and found their fathers standing in between. That's what we need to bring back in America, because it's a terrifying truth that many families have lost that masculine wall to protect them. Watch, for example, what this abuser said when asked what he looked for when selecting his victims, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Were there certain characteristics that you looked for in children before them?
In children, yes, but more I also looked at their families. If I thought the father was a threat, I would not approach the child. If I thought that the child had friends that he would tell, I would not approach him.
When even this kind of moral darkness is terrified of a father's rage, you know how powerful masculinity really is. And honestly, I believe the absolute arrogance you're seeing from the likes of Sean Diddy is because he knows the men and the fathers of this country have been deliberately weakened over the last 4 decades. But all it takes is for a father like John Rich to stand up and give every other father the courage to stand beside him against the sinister ideas corrupting their children.
Well, there's Sean Combs up there just declaring that he owns the souls of our children in America. I said, yeah, I don't think so. And I got really intense. And I really don't think that the people on the other side of the table, the predator class out there, don't really have an understanding of that. It's almost as if they have no fear of the American parent, of the dad, the regular guy, the guy that keeps to himself, works hard every day, just leave me alone guy. I think they don't really understand what that person would turn into if you put your hands on one of their kids, because they would rip you limb from limb. They would become the most primal beast you've ever met in your life. They would lose all inhibition. You lose, they win.
And to be honest, I think I kind of see where that gall of someone like Diddy is coming from. I mean, imagine the cakewalk he's had trying to make inroads into young minds through his music, when nearly 1 in 4 children in America grow up without a dad in the house. And that figure sadly rises up to 2/3 among the black community. Pop stars and these modern rap artists aren't used to pushback anymore, and it's made them way too cocky for their own good. And by the way, watch Shawn Ryan's reaction to when John Rich spoke to him about this. Because I think this is the moment Shawn decided he would accept John's request to play the role of the dad in his music video for The Righteous Hunter.
This happened because I saw a video clip of Sean Combs on camera on an award show somewhere, and he looked right into the camera with all the spotlights going on, and he said, I own your kids. I own their souls. And he's looking into I own their souls. I determine what they listen to. I determine what clothes they wear. I own their souls.
He said that?
Yes, he did. I'll send you the clip. And you're looking right at the devil. I mean, his eyes are just like. And I saw that and went, oh, is that right? Is that right, Diddy? You own my kids' souls, huh? And I thought to myself, is anybody going to say something about that? Anybody in the news? Any preachers? Hello, any of the big preachers? Joel Osteen, where you at? Anybody going to stand up and say, "Hey, you're a child of the devil, and you don't own any of our kids' souls"? And I hope God takes you to hell sooner than later.
That's a dad talking to another dad. And you can almost feel the rage build up inside Shawn Ryan, because he understands just how deep the rot truly runs when it comes to this kind of evil against children. But if you want to see what happens when an artist risks his entire career to reveal the truth about the music industry, watch this breakdown of Katt Williams' recent bombshell allegations here, and subscribe to Elites Exposed for more.